Oh, 14 days and then the guns arrive.
Only
Oh,
4.
because you don't have enough. Fuck, I'm so fucked. They're gonna try to do naval invasion.
Yeah.
No. They're trying to push me. If I only kill Chile, that should actually fix everything, to be honest.
Military base.
Please don't blow up my military bases. I need them.
Okay, I will destroy your military bases, just like you said.
No!
No, I have a mission.
Yeah. Retreat, you idiot. Or I just could you know, encircle the enemy and kill them that way. It's way easier. Because they're attacking one place, what's not really... Oh shit, there are actually a lot of them coming in. Yeah, I still can't push over this. Why are the two tanks together? You know what, I'm not even gonna question it anymore.
They just like each other, leave them alone. They just found love in all the wrong places. I think Daryl now hates me.
Well, that sometimes happens, yes.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything.
Well, you don't have to, luckily, because I know already.
How are they still getting equipment? What the fuck? Okay, just keep oh, they're still really getting equipment. Yeah, what the fuck?
They need to barricade the gates of your country. Even if it's just with their bodies.
What do you think I'm trying to do? Oh, there's an enemy here.
I mean, they're trying to restock. You should tell them to, like, not... Or get equipped. Like,
I only
you
have
should
to
tell
kill Chile, then I win automatic. Oh shit, no. Well, no, I only have to kill Chile, right? Because... Yeah, I only have to kill Chile, so...
them.
But I have to have like
Chile.
1/4 of my army to defend against Paraguay, because I know they are gonna attack me, because I know this mod. But I'm having a lot of casualties right now. Because, you know, outside sources think they can intervene. No, 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 no.
Yes, they can.
Wait, that's probably why Germany and Canada sent volunteers to me, because the communists sent volunteers to my enemies. That's probably the only reason why they are helping me right now. That is probably the reason too.
Well, you found it out! Yay!
How are they getting equipment over here?
A lot of hard work.
They're getting them illegally from the mountains.
The mountains are producing them.
Okay, stop attacking, stop attacking. Because this is only hurting my fucking equipment line. Oh no.
Okay.
My divisions will never surrender.
They won't?
Well, that's not really an option in this game, so... The shitty thing is only the French fucking divisions are attacking me. And the British. I don't know where the Italians are. Probably somewhere in the mountains, to be honest, wouldn't surprise me. Honduras joined the... What? The Liberal Pact? What the fuck? Oh, it's between them and Guatemala. How's the US doing? Broken. Okay, good. They shouldn't get in equipment there. No, right? Oh, they're encircled, so they're gonna get destroyed. I'm just gonna capture this. General strike. Really? Really, guys. We can't have this right now. Can you do this after the fucking war?
No, we only can do it during the war.
There's nothing bad. I'm still trying to fix the Black Monday shit, but that's not really working.
My revolutionary mercenary, eh? I want you to help us deprogram a
Okay,
computer
that's
in one of the
taking
military
over.
bases.
Oh
Their
no.
blasted radars and surface-to-air missiles are making it very
And that's
difficult to
that taking
smuggle
over.
contraband along
Could
certain
you-
routes. Will you help?
Could you please, you know, not attack? Yeah, this is gonna be fucking stupid, to be honest.
Oh god, the military base that I literally just wanted to avoid and I have to attack.
Does not anyone from the Entente wanna help me? There's another submarine down. Well, my convoys were still alive. That's actually kind of shocking, to be honest. I thought they would be destroyed instantaneously. I'm getting a lot of equipment now, so that means I will not die. I hope. And when this war ends, I'm just gonna take over the entire... I'm just gonna take over all of my enemies, because, you know, they declared war on me, so... I think it's fair. Oh, and our self-lord dead. Goodbye. Good job, Self-lord. You declared war on people who are in our faction. Except Nicaragua, then. Well, our Self-lord actually could stand a chance. The defend only. Defend. Yeah, they could actually stand a chance.
Noble Scorpio, you will always be remembered as a friend of the people and a hero in my heart.
Job done. Oh, Grant, the next mission's opening up. Jumping parole.
The Italians have no more supply. What the fuck have they done?
Right, we're going to add Duncan to this call, so I'm going to call the group.
Yeah, look. What the
Hello.
fuck? What is... Did Discord get an update or something? Because it looks all different now. What the hell?
Yeah, Discord got an update, yes.
Yeah, Discord updates every so often, like... for some reason they update it a lot.
But... I mean...
Discord
Wow.
updates about every day.
I mean, yeah, I get it. I get it would update, but what's the point of this weird ass... Call it...
I don't
square
know.
around like... what, I mean...
I don't know, honestly.
Go there and free him from
Okay, whatever.
I want my best
Let's not
boy
complain
back.
about something that doesn't really need complaining about.
It does need
That's
complaining about because, Jesus Christ, it's ugly as fuck.
I mean, it is, but it's
And it's
supposed-
useless!
With the convoy
I mean, I like that they got the colors right.
comrades.
I never actually input like I want the color brown. They just took it from our profile picture and it fits quite nicely.
Yeah, no, that's good, luckily, indeed.
I don't know what kind of algorithm they got working on that, but you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty sleek. But yeah, let's complain about something that definitely needs complaining about. Fleet carriers. Fuck fleet carriers.
Fuck them.
Positive.
Seriously.
Not worth
Okay,
it.
so honestly, I mean, I was pretty bummed about the fact that I couldn't even test them personally, because snapshots, kind of annoying. I've tested them with someone else. The good thing about fleet carriers is that if you go into open play, there's about 1 billion of them. I mean, there's 1 billion of them in any instance. They're shared, but because everyone's testing them in open, you kind of want the owner of the fleet carrier to be there, so you kind of need to go into open and find one. So I went there, found a fleet carrier, witnessed everything it had to offer. The guy basically did everything we'd ask him to do. He's like, oh, can you show us this, can you show us that? And he's like, yeah, sure. And what are the prices of this? We could basically ask him and he'll give us everything. And boy, this is gonna, it's like, why? Why did you even bother making fleet carriers if you're gonna restrict them as heavily as you do? One, the entire purpose of the shipyard is completely and utterly useless. Why? Because you can't actually, you always buy ships at the normal value. At the normal base value, so the highest value you could possibly get the ship, right? Just the normal price without any discounts.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, what the fuck is the point? If you're not going to be able to buy them in bulk at a lower cost than you would normally get them, and if you sell them exactly the same price, then you won't earn anything. And two, if you sell them for a higher price, no one will buy them at your fucking ship. Because why would they? It's not like they're getting any improvements. They're just getting the same ship just for a higher price at your fancy ass fleet carrier. Why would anyone want to do that?
I don't know.
So that's one way to not earn any money right there, and it's laughable because if you want to get yourself the shipyard, you know, the module that's going to turn your fleet carrier into an actual carrier that can carry your ships for you, it's going to be around, I think it was 60 million in the ordinary base price, which wasn't, that's not too bad, but it's also 42 million in weekly upkeep. Excuse me, how much?
42 million.
Yeah, you need to basically have that every single week.
What the fuck?
For something that doesn't earn you a dime. Nothing.
That's not really worth it.
And that's one of the many completely useless modules that you can buy. If you put everything on your fleet carrier, it's gonna set you back at least 170 something million per week.
Jesus Christ.
We've already calculated this, and that's around 7 billion per year. I don't even have 7 billion. That's just, I mean,
That means you have to play
holy-
like every day, almost 24 hours.
They're basically turning Elite into a full-time job. Now, luckily, because I was not the only one that had a problem with this. The entire community lit up like a fucking blaze.
Doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
Everyone just had the biggest hissy fit I think I've ever seen. And Frontier's come with a statement saying that, we've taken the last 2 days. The first 2 days was enough for them to realize that they were making a massive mistake, because the testing phase was about a week. But it didn't take them that long to finally have to put the fire out, I suppose. They were like, okay, so we realized that the system heavily needs changing. We'll come up with a list of forthcoming changes and put those up into the test server about somewhere next week. So that's when we'll hear exactly what these changes are going to be. I think it's a good thing that they are listening to the feedback, because holy fucking shit, they will need to if they're ever gonna make these things worth a while. Because as it is right now, I would definitely not get a fleet carrier. Definitely
well,
not.
I mean,
Without question, I wouldn't get it, because it would just kill the game. Literally, if I stop playing for about a month, that's it. I'm broke, like a star all over. And I'm not looking into playing Elite for my entire life, for every single day of my life. It's an amazing game, but not that good. Not yet, anyway. But yeah, they are going to be changing some things. Hopefully they'll bring the exploration data to the ships. Oh, by the way, it costs about 22 million to make a jump. just to jump 500 light years. Yeah, that's 22 million right there. I could do that with my Anaconda in about 10 minutes. One is gonna take this ship at least 2 hours to do the same thing, and it's gonna cost me 22 million fucking credits. Are you crazy? Okay, so if you basically take that, so 22 million for about 500 light years. Yeah, imagining going to Beagle Point. Imagine doing about 65,000 light years. That would cost you multiple billions just to get there. And then you have to go back. Yeah, how about no?
That's not really worth it, or why?
Yeah, simply why? The whole idea behind these carriers was that you can outfit them for whatever you want to do, and they'll give you a bonus for it. Like if you want to go mining, the ship will offer you a bunch of cool stuff that will help you, get higher prices or get more done or work more efficiently. And the same goes for trading, combat, bounty hunting, search and rescue, anti-alien combat, and every single thing that you can do in the game, they'd have a carrier for it. That's a blatant fucking lie. That is literally a blatant lie. What the carrier ends up being, if you fully fit it out, is yet another station. Just another station. You won't have anything that a station won't have.
The only problem is that you actually pay for the station instead of.
Yeah, you pay for it. You don't earn much of anything. Now the entire the market you can control. So the whole money transferring thing that we came up with, that's definitely possible and has been done. People are doing it, but it's obviously on the beta, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, the real problem started arising when you think of then what can you really do with a fleet carrier? Yeah, you can park it outside a fucking asteroid ring and go bounty hunting. We could already do the same thing. Are we gonna get a bonus of extra payouts? Nope. They're allowing us to do the exact same thing we've been doing for no extra cost. We get nothing out of it aside from the slight convenience that oh wow, we might have to travel a minute less to get somewhere. Because we can put this thing wherever we want to at a price of 22 million, I might add. So
just put yours at Jonai.
It is completely I mean, that is completely useless as well, because Jonai, the station is already right next to the ring. You can't get any closer.
That's why.
Completely useless. But then okay, so how do you review it? Well, you can mine tritium. Great, that's exactly what we want to do, more mining. Now you can luckily buy this in bulk in other stations and then transfer it to your ship. Thank fuck. But even that's a hassle, because how are you going to do that when you're not in the bubble, when you're actually going exploring? You can't, so you're looking into basically mining 500 tons of tritium whenever you want to make a fucking jump. Also, it's going to cost you 22 million. So you'll probably want to stock up on credits before you head out, because there's no way to earn your money with that thing, because you can't sell your goddamn exploration data at it. So there's no way to earn money with exploration or bounty hunting or literally any other thing. Because mining also useless, because you'll be if you mine low tempered diamonds, for example, you put them in your ship. You won't sell them automatically as an AI station does. You need another player to buy them from you. So no one's gonna fucking head out to Beagle Point just to buy your fucking crystals that they can get anywhere else, basically. So that's useless.
With the tree bubble thing.
Yeah, so that's completely fucking useless. No one's gonna get them. Meaning that you're already confined to the fucking bubble. That's all. That's inhabited space where players are. That's the only place you can ever go with your ship, because there's no way the ship can maintain itself out somewhere. Definitely not long-range exploration. It is completely useless to it. People will still probably do it just to be the first to do it, because you always have them. But it'll be absolutely a horrible experience. So, what the community has already put forward is that obviously we want the purchase price for these things. They're probably gonna remain the same. We still want them to be a high-end ship. You don't want to see everyone suddenly have a fleet carrier, because that defeats the fucking purpose.
Yeah, but like that's still understandable.
They do need to bring something to the table. So obviously, allow them to, if you're going to give them a market, allow them to function as a regular market and sell on their own to AI or whatever. Just give them, if you buy yourself a market, it should give you at least a couple of million per week or per day or something. So it starts earning you a little bit. Same goes for the refuel station, same goes for everything. Yes, it'll slowly earn you money, but that's the whole fucking point of them.
Yep.
What? Remove the fuck. You don't have to remove the timer, I'd say, for the jumps.
But the money price.
Just remove the money price, and for the love of fucking all that's holy, make either tritium scoopable, so that you can put your ship near a sun just like any other ship, and they'll refuel as any other ship would, or remove tritium completely and just keep it that damn timer. I don't want to fucking go out and mine every single fucking jump, because it takes about 4 hours to mine 500 tons. That's exactly what I don't want to do. In fact, I fucking abhor mining in this game. I've only done it because I need the fucking money, and it is the best way to earn money. It's almost as if mining is exactly what these things are built for. You need to fucking mine your dick out for hours and weeks on end just to get one. And then what's your reward? You can do more mining. Oh, you're kidding me. You're fucking with me now, aren't you? You get nothing out of it. It's a carrier. It's in the name. You're supposed to carry ships. That's what carriers do. Yeah, but it doesn't have that option right off the get-go. Then what's the fucking point of a carrier if it doesn't carry ships? Yeah, you need to actually unlock the carrier functionality on your carrier, and it's also going to cost you 42 per week. This is where the second chance comes in. Remove upkeep costs entirely. Just get them out. No one wants to be locked into playing a game every single fucking day. No one wants Elite to become their next fucking job. But then they're like, oh yeah, but you know, on Sunday, no, it needs to be balanced. Well, if it needs to be balanced, the module that you...
How about put it on less money then as upkeep?
Maybe. But I'd say for starters, okay, if you're gonna make, if you're going to get one module for, say, the shipyard, if you're gonna give the shipyard a 42 million upkeep cost per week, then it needs to logically be able to earn that money too. But it literally can't. It is, I mean, it will. It is able to, but it won't, because you're buying ships at the standard rate and selling them for the standard rate, meaning you won't earn anything. And if you're not selling them if you're selling them at a higher rate, then what's stopping a player from moving to the nearby station that also has it? Because it's not like you'll be outside of the bubble at a premium location where they otherwise couldn't get the ships. Because, you know, longer range travel is completely forbidden for those things. I mean, you can do it, but the entire, you know, every single mechanic of the fleet carriers is basically built around the fact that you shouldn't. So
it's more like they really don't want people to have them more than anything else. Because like, it's fucking expensive to actually buy it already. If you want to jump to another system, you have to basically have infinite money to use it.
Yeah, and it doesn't really give you any.
It doesn't give you anything. Like if it's like basically a mobile trade ship, or like something that actually makes you money over time, okay, but if it only costs you money, hell no.
Exactly. But then, you know, the only two things that remain, that what can these things do? Well, yeah, you could potentially use them as a mobile trading post, which is what the majority of people will be doing, because that's the only thing they can do. Go into the bubble, create yourself a little buy order, sell order, and so on, and hopefully you'll be able to earn money out of it. You probably won't, because there will be 1,000 fucking fleet carriers out there.
Yeah,
doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, so they really didn't have thought that through, did they?
I mean, I finally do understand why, because the fleet carriers were supposed to be entering the game about a year ago, and they kept being pushed back for balancing reasons. I finally understand why, because holy shit, if this was the best you could come up with after that year's worth of time, bro, what the fuck have you been doing? How bad was it the first time around? Good Christ.
I actually want to see like the beta version of that shit now, like how shitty it was in the beginning.
Oh god, I'm almost imagining it being, you know, really good. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that could be actually really good as well. Who knows?
Frontier's like, oh my god, we don't want them earning that much money anymore. Oh my god. But that, you know, defeats the point. Like, why wouldn't they want us to earn even more money? We've already bought the single most expensive thing we can buy.
If I could get more money easier, I would play the game more, because, you know, I have more options to.
Yeah.
But this kind of like, you know, this is more like, I don't want people to play my game. I want them to stop playing our game. Let's go.
Well, I mean, that's exactly probably why they did the upkeep thing, you know, to keep people, you know, coming back to the game. But that's the wrong way to keep people coming back to the game. That's exactly what pushes me away from a game.
Yeah.
Except you're basically punishing people for not coming to play your game, while you should be rewarding them for playing the game in the first place.
Yep.
Give that thing, you know, the ability to generate money for you, as opposed to taking it from you, or give you like something like other games do, like a login bonus every day. Reward people for playing a game as opposed to punishing them for not playing your game. That's the exact wrong way to treat your players.
No, I don't think a lot of game developers know how to actually make a good game where you can always come back to, because I think that's pretty difficult. Make a good game that people always want to come back to, because it's a good idea to just have like maintenance in the game, good, but don't make it crazy expensive.
Like
That's
what they're
the only
doing
thing
right
you have to
now.
do. Yeah. So that it kind of backfired, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean this thing. I mean, at the moment, I'd almost say, well, you know what? Fucking push these things back for another year, because Christ Almighty, I don't know how to fix all this. I'd almost say, you know what? You might want to scrap this idea completely, because it's just a fucking
If
hot
I would
mess.
make a fleet carrier, the fleet carrier would basically be a giant ass refinery in my eyes.
Yeah, I'd at least give you options. Like if you want to build your ship for mining, make it a massive ass refinery where maybe it generates minerals over time as well, as like a passive bonus or something.
Like you
Or
do,
when
that you bring ores in, and that it like gets like diamonds or such out of it.
Yeah.
Still.
Or if you want to go bounty hunting, make it so that if you basically place a bounty or turn one in at the ship, you'll get a higher reward from it, as opposed to having the exact same reward from it. Because what's the point? Just like, what's the whole point? For one, allow exploration data to be sold at them, so to give the long-range explorers actually a way to maintain their ship. Because that's exactly what I wanted to do with my carrier. I wanted to go on a super road trip with it, bring it to the ass end of the galaxy. That'd be cool as
and then
shit.
stay there for a long time.
And you know what? Allow my friends to park their ships on the carrier and go along for the ride. They don't have to. They don't have to play the game the entire time to go with me to Beagle Point. They can just park their ship there, and we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, like basically have a hangar where you and your friend can park, or friends, depends. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how big the ship is. That's the problem. I don't really know what I'm supposed to.
It's pretty massive. You could. In total, it's 16 ships you can put on there, so 16 different players can put a ship on your carrier.
It's a fucking capital ship, Jesus Christ!
It is massive. It has a massive cool factor too, because I've seen one in action. I've actually hopped over to one that was in the middle of its like jumping process. So I saw all the hangars locked down. I saw the entire thing jump out, and it was amazing. They definitely have the possibility of making this thing cool as fuck, but not the way they're doing right now. That's for damn sure.
No, this is not really the thing you think about. It's fucking cool.
No, this
It's
is
fucking lame.
This is really lame. This is absolutely fucking terrible.
How?
That's
How
lucky.
can you fuck that up though? Like you make
Easy.
something fucking cool, and then
I
you
mean-
fuck it up.
I mean, it goes a long way saying that, I think, you know that really odd little space game. I think it's called No Man's Sky. How long did that thing have fleet carriers? And how amazing are they in that game? Oh, they're pretty good. All you had to do was copy that game. That's it. That's done.
Okay.
That's all. You could improve on it, sure. But if you just had to copy that, I still would have given you shit for copying something. But at least we have something we can actually use.
Yeah, but like that's stealing, and like when it's completely stealing, it's that's also not good. But like that's the thing. That's what game developers do. You steal and then you change things. That's what they
Yes.
should have done. They should have indeed stolen it, but give
then
their own
improve on
twist to it. Yes.
Yeah, improve on it, make it a little bit different, but not worse. We're talking about No Man's Sky, the same game that in the latest updates put Max into the game. That this is a smaller studio than Frontier was ever going to be, because Frontier is pretty big in comparison to Hello Games. They're a smaller studio with an absolutely awful game when it was released, but they've also improved on it again and again and again and again and again. Updates that are at least 3 times the size than Elite's ever had. What the fuck is Frontier doing? This magical 2020 update that they're preaching on to us about better be the best fucking thing I've ever seen, or I might actually quit the game at this point, because this is just. I've been defending this game for as long as I can remember, but now I can't even. When they start to
Given
double
up.
down, if they start to double down on the grind and be like, yeah, we're gonna turn this game into a fucking job simulator without any reward, then I don't see the point of playing anymore. I already had my billions upon billions of credits. I wanted to actually do something with them. This would have been that one something, and I wanted to see more than anything else. Because there wasn't really nothing for me to do anymore aside from exploring. I already had everything. I literally had every single ship in the game. But then they give me this. As opposed to rewarding your veteran rich ass players, that the ones that have been selling the game, that are in love with the game, as opposed to rewarding them for it, you're punishing them for it.
We got a positive.
What? Why?
Well, it's a game developer, so you know.
Fucking, I've got so little faith in game development studios lately.
Wonderful.
But anyway, luckily, and you know, I know this could still go any direction, because you know they did say that, you know, they're listening to feedback and they're changing it. But every single fucking studio that's been in the shit has said that. Bethesda said that at least every single week for every single different reason, and they've never fucking changed. They've only made it worse. So this could still explode in our faces, but at least, you know, they're listening. That they've realized that they've made a mistake. So I hope to fucking god that next week, when the patch notes are released and all the changes will be made, you know, open to us, we'll agree with them. Hopefully they're a step in the right direction. Probably won't be the solution to everything, but at least, you know, we know that what we've got at the moment, the carriers, it's not going to stay this way. Thank fuck. But it might get worse. We don't know.
It sounds, you know, the name is Fleet Carrier, so you know it should be something interesting. You know, of course it's gonna be expensive in one go, of course, because you know it carries stuff for you. I don't know how many ships you have, because maybe some people have more. So you say you could have 16 or something.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's 16 landing pads, so you can have like 16 different players logged in on the ship at the same time. But if you're offline, your ship, it will be stored on the ship as well.
So you can practically have infinite ships on there.
Every fleet
yeah.
carrier has a capacity of about 25,000 units, and these 25,000 units, that's everything. So that's fuel, that's modules, that's ships, that's different refineries. So every single carrier can be built.
Ship? The fleet carrier does it have a name? Like
yeah,
a class name.
It's a Drake class fleet carrier. I like that they said a Drake class carrier, because that kind of implies that they might, you know, eventually get more. But that's the same. You know, they've done this before by giving us the SRV Scarab, which is also indicating that, you know, that there's going to be multiple ones, but there's still just the one that's been there for years.
No,
so we never know.
But what kind of game is it? Like, what is it really focused on?
It's basically like a sandbox, fucking galaxy simulator. It's a really impressive one-to-one scale of the Milky Way, and it's massive. It has like 4 billion star systems that you'll be able to explore. You'll never be able to see them all.
What I more mean is it like more trade focused, or is it more?
A little bit of everything. You can do trades, you can do exploring, you can do combat, alien combat, PvP, PvE, bounty, literally.
Is it really a war focused thing, or is it more like it's more an economy game, I guess?
It's kind of an economy game. There are wars, there are different like governments and factions that do compete with one another that you could, as a player, jump into in every single one of them.
But
it's basically
does this ship have weapons, like defensive?
No. Not that I know. It's not like you can jump into like a system and start blasting shit up with it. It's
Then I actually have
it's a big support vessel.
Yeah, okay, no, then I actually have kind of an idea what they're going with then. It is a support vessel, yes, but it's more an...
You have done well, my friend. And for killing Lee
what's it called again?
your name holds
It's basically a gathering port for people who make more money and play with more friends, I guess. But when you have like, I know, 10 friends in this game, like this ship is amazing, I guess.
I mean, the whole idea was, you know, for the big communities to have like a couple of fleet carriers on standby. If you're playing with your friends, you're like, oh, come on guys, let's get into my fleet carrier and jump to somewhere cool and start fucking shit up or whatever. Or go to the far distance places that you couldn't get, because there are a couple of systems out there that are about 500 light years away from anything, and there hasn't been any ship in the game that could go to them. The fleet carrier could. So you can do cool shit, but most of these systems are light years away, and it will take fucking forever and hundreds of millions of credits to get there in the first place, which is again the fleet carrier shooting itself in the foot. The ideas and the possibilities are definitely there. That's why I got so excited for them, because holy shit, you can do a lot of cool stuff with them. But at the moment, they're just so heavily restricted that it's completely not feasible.
No, I could understand that. Yeah, but I think I've now a broad idea. So they were breaking a ship that was good for communities with more players. Because that's why probably the 16 fucking landing pads. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, the money cost is probably something that's gonna change, because I think that's the biggest minus of the ship, the jump cost.
No, the jump cost, and I'd say the upkeep cost gets a little bit insane, because you'll be forced to play the game over and over again.
Well, if you're alone, yes, but I guess when you're with multiple people, you could split it between how many people.
That people could like donate to the ship.
Yeah, like that.
Well,
that's. I guess they were focusing on more people with more people. Because if you only have two, you basically have to split it with you two. I guess.
The problem is that there's no way for any other player to directly contribute to the carrier, aside from doing the money transfer with basically the trading exploit. The only way that other people aside from you can contribute to the carrier is by buying stuff from you, which kind of defeats the purpose, because then you're not really donating them, you're just using it, and anyone can do that.
They should probably.
I don't know. The thing is that
I will buy high temperature diamonds from your fleet carrier and sell them somewhere else. So you and me both have money.
Yeah, the problem is that everyone's gonna probably be doing that. The price for low temperature diamonds has been plummeting for weeks now.
Why doesn't that surprise me, to be honest?
I'm glad.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Everyone wants to get the new fancy fleet carrier.
Everyone is gonna want this new fleet carrier. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now. So
I'm glad we actually earned some money still first.
Yeah.
I'm still looking at, like, the funny thing is, you were playing Elite and Dangerous last time on the stream. I was just looking at it because I'm still looking for a good sandbox open, space thing.
Yeah, this is definitely still the best one out there if you compare it to, because No Man's Sky is definitely more like a survival-ish game.
Yeah, I've also heard of EVE Online. It's an older game, I've heard.
EVE Online is basically a fucking menu simulator. You don't even directly control your ship, you basically just click on something and tell it where to go. EVE Online is... It leans heavily, on the actual business and economy management thing, as opposed to being an actual space game. And it's also one of those games that's going to either consume your life or confuse the fuck out of you.
Or both, if you're like me.
Yeah, like me.
We got into it for a while, and we really got into it for a while. But you also kind of really quickly go out of it for a while, because either the game, I don't know, it's a little bit too intense for me. I want to just be able to fly my own ship. That's cool as shit. But also I just want to do whatever the fuck I want to do. A pure sandbox allows you to do whatever the fuck you want to do. EVE gives you that, but you really need to commit to one thing. If you don't commit to any one thing, then you're never going to earn enough money to really, keep up all the shit that you've got. So if you want to go mining, you really need to go mining for the rest of your fucking career in that game. Otherwise you'll never earn enough money. And that's where I draw the line.
Because you also need to get like those packs that keep you like in special condition.
Yeah, because when I play a game, I want to log in and be like, okay, I'm done with mining. I want to go do something else for a while. And EVE just doesn't really allow you to do that. Elite does. If you're tired with mining, you can go bounty hunting for a while, go exploring for a while, or fucking try hauling cargo from station to station, or do some anti-xeno combat, or name it. You can do it. You won't need to set up your ship for it, but that's not impossible. For EVE, yeah, sorry, but if you build yourself a mining complex and you want to go do something else, I'm tough fucking luck, bitch. Have fun with that.
Okay.
It's a bit.
Interesting.
I mean, it is. it is definitely a game it's still popular as fuck because there are definitely people that want that specific thing. They wanna go out into a galaxy and really make a business that or make something of themselves or whatever. They want to be special. They want to really double down on something and set themselves apart from the rest of the community. But it's definitely not something that can be considered as a casual game.
No.
You really need to commit to Eve. And that's why eventually I dropped out because holy fuck, I wasn't ready for that.
I might eventually play it again. I don't know. I want to get confused to high hell again. That's like the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of me playing that fucking game.
Well, I played the single player game. What's it called again? X3. X3.
Yeah.
Yes. Like that's that was a fun game. Really.
Yeah, that was. They think they came up with a new one lately, wasn't it?
Yeah, X4 or
X4. Yeah,
X4 or something.
Yeah, I've been looking into getting it. I haven't gotten it still, but that's. I don't really mind that because one, it's a single player game, so there's not like you'll be losing anything if you don't play for a while.
Well,
That's
I
the one
had
thing with
the what's it called again? The Star Wars mod because I'm a very I am still very Star Wars fan. But the funny...
I see you're a man of culture as well. That's good.
Oh, okay, good. But like the funny thing was, the controlling with mouse was almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fun game. But the best thing was there was like a how do you call it? It was a living feeling because stuff would still go on around you. Like there was an economy, there was still like trade, there was still like combat going on all the goddamn time.
Yeah, it's a living, breathing galaxy. It continues to do its own thing, even if you're not participating or not.
Yeah, well, I always chose the rebel side, of course,
because you're a rebel.
You rebel scum.
What? I have the best ships ever.
That's like choosing an elite. That's choosing like the not the Federation, not the Empire. Just the.
If you're like an alliance guy, like who the fuck wants to be alliance?
Yeah,
Seriously?
That's what I always feel like about rebels.
I mean, to be fair, if I were to be in the Star Wars galaxy, I'd definitely go rebel side more than anything, because Empire, not the greatest.
Yeah,
Empire. Even if you do follow them exactly, they'll probably kill you for something.
Yeah, there's always real, or like you don't know, but they try and kill you because you're being too good.
Yeah.
Because you stick out, and if you stick out, you die.
Literally space communism / Nazis.
Well, Star Wars is based on World War II, so.
I mean, just the other, when we were watching the last Star Wars movie, some kids like, wow, these guys really do look like the Nazis. I'm like, really? You only just found that out?
I'm not kidding you.
Well,
I'm not kidding you. I've watched that movie, like when it just came out, like the day it came out, and there were a few kids that saying this, where I was the same thing, like almost complete the same thing. Like, was saying that they're almost Nazis. I was like,
that's the point.
They're based on Nazis, literally.
And then when they start figuring out that, wait a minute. Those TIE fighters, right? They make that weird diving noise, yeah? I think they got that from somewhere else. No, really? You've never heard of the Stuka dive bomber, have you? No, of course you haven't.
That's only the earlier versions.
Yeah, but still, that's the MLG version.
I hated that noise. Like holy fuck.
I fucking love that noise. Seriously, I would fucking hate it.
Have you ever played War Thunder?
Yes, I have.
I get fucking Vietnam flashbacks, even though it doesn't exist yet.
I mean, that's exactly why I like it. It's just such a recognizable and terrifying fucking noise that these things make. Imagine yourself standing on a fucking beach and suddenly your hair. No, I'd be crapping my pants, dude.
I would just accept my fate. I would just accept my fate.
Have you seen the movie Dunkirk?
Yes, multiple times.
Well, you remember that one scene on the beach where they're all just standing there, suddenly these Stuka dive bombers come in with all the fucking noise that they make? Dude, that would definitely give me Vietnam flashbacks. Holy. pissed.
But the funny thing is, like, only one person shoots at it with their rifle. There are a few thousand guys standing there with rifles and that. Just shoot at it.
Yeah, but you know that's the whole point of this fucking. They didn't, you know, put the horn there just to be just for shits and giggles. They did it with the exact purpose of terrifying the fuck out of everyone.
But the funny thing is
it worked.
But the funny thing is the Expeditionary Force were not volunteers. They were like the professional army. So, you know, it's just already enough when your professional army is getting its ass kicked.
I mean, their professional army was basically surrounded, battered, and absolutely, you know, worn the fuck out.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, my ancestors are French. Just saying, but I hate when people say the French didn't do anything at Dunkirk.
Oh,
the only reason...
The French were the MLGs because they were holding the fucking city while the British evacuated.
Yeah, but actually the funny thing was, a few French tanks still counterattacked and actually scared Rommel's Ghost Division away.
Yeah, no, they were the reason that the tanks weren't basically assigned to take the city.
Yeah, because the Germans weren't really scared of them until they fucking did that.
Yeah, otherwise they would have sent their panzer divisions into the city and wiped the fucking floor with them, but the tanks weren't allowed to go into the city.
Yeah, because...
They were kept at a distance because the French were like, Banzai charging them with their tanks, and they were surprisingly effective with it.
Yeah.
Don't piss off the French.
No.
Always piss off the French.
I mean, the funny thing is, they did surrender, yes. Yes, I have to completely say, they did surrender.
Of course.
The Netherlands did the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, every single country in Europe basically did the same thing.
Poland, no. Poland did not.
I mean, they
made an underground government in their own country.
I mean, to be fair, but when the time would have come that they would have surrendered, there was really nothing of their country left to surrender. They're already taken everything.
I've heard like 16% of their population died during World War II. Like that's a shocker.
Poland got his fucking ass kicked. It is absolutely awful what happened there. People tend to forget. But
they never gave up, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to give them that. They never gave up. Like, well, we had a reason because you know Rotterdam was not a thing.
Well, it definitely wasn't a thing after the Germans were done with it.
No, the funny thing was, the Rotterdam was being built up again, and then like a half year later, the fucking British bombed the city again because they thought it was a military target.
Yeah.
Like it's like first the one side and then the other side bombs. She's like, I would just fucking give up rebuilding the city after that. Like, you know what? You wanna you
know what? We'll use this as big ass farmland. Holy shit.
And I now have to live on that farmland.
Basically.
So Rotterdam is well the most modern city now. So.
I mean, we kind of do have the Germans and the British to thank for that now, because they wiped out all of the old ass infrastructure, allowed us to modernize the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, cheers, guys. I'm sure the hundreds of people that died would have disagreed with me right here, but yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's really weird because you want to say. The funny thing is, we say thank you America for saving us, but remember who bombed the cities at day. remember that. And at night the British. We say thank you, but we know what they fucking did.
Yeah, we haven't forgotten that little fact here.
And remember who didn't save us in the Java Zee. Remember that as well. The Americans and the British knew they were coming, and they didn't do anything.
They were like, yeah, we'll let you guys figure it out.
Well, the funny thing was the Dutch didn't stop fighting until like dusk basically fell.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, there was nothing left, so you know. There was like only a few minesweepers left, basically. But you know, after that, the funny thing is we ended with a bigger navy than the start of the war, so.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, as of today, we have one of the most, not the largest navies by far, but definitely one of the most effective ones.
No, we have one of the most modern.
Definitely.
Okay, the ships itself are old, but all the weapons on it are like one of the most modern weapons on it. And we're gonna make our own ships soon.
Yeah, I mean we've got some pretty goddamn powerful ships. Not even just genuine warships, but the big ass blockers of water, the hospital ships. These things are pretty. They're all over the place, and they're pretty well received. Let's say, because they don't have a lot of weaponry or whatever, but they do a lot of fucking good work.
Yeah.
People tend to gloss over what our navy actually does, and it's definitely not a navy as you'd think of World War II as navy, like big ass battleships or whatever. Those are completely useless nowadays. But yeah, a modernized navy does a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
still too sad.
I mean, I definitely want battleships to still be a thing, but.
Well, Americans are making a modern version battleship. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm keeping my eye on
Mission
that.
failed. The crates were lost. For fuck's sake, I hate this fucking game.
And stop driving like a madman.
You know what the thing is though? I'm getting shot the entire goddamn fucking time. I can't stop.
Well, most powerful, maybe. The biggest, not even close. It's still shocking that Russia has a larger number of people in the army, even though they have like one-third American population. So, and the Russians still have 13,000 tanks. They're all old, but you know, numbers sometimes also win.
I mean that was their whole design philosophy during World War II. So
Mind if I borrow
yeah, and
this?
in the Cold War as well. Like have more tanks than your enemy.
yeah, and it usually worked, you know, until they went into Finland. Then it didn't work.
Yeah.
Just got their asses kicked. And
Well,
they
they did get their asses kicked, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, could you call that a win?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a win, but in the history books, it's written up as a win. So sure, I'll have that one, but guess I've got some Finnish blood in me, I suppose. Just don't agree with them.
I've also part Russian, so that doesn't matter. I said they lost. It's easy as that. They lost. Yeah, they won the war, but if you lose 500,000 men, that's not really winning.
Yeah, it's not exactly. I wouldn't call it a victory.
You're fighting an army that's not even 250,000 men, and you have a military that's bigger than 3 million people, and you still lose so many. Like, how the fuck?
You're by all extents and purposes, they really should have just wiped Finland off the map, but nope.
No, but Stalin wanted a plan like in Poland, like what Germany did in Poland, like all really uneasy, like real big plans. And there was a general who said, let's just go to Helsinki and win automatically. Really smart. Just use all your might to go to Helsinki, because you know that's basically where all the people live in Finland.
Basically.
So when they lose that, well, that's over. You can, but Stalin did that. Shot the person that said it, and you know.
Stalin was like, "We be smart." Yeah, no, didn't work out for you, did it?
And then they actually like, oh, let's go back to the plan. We just crush Finland through, you know. Because Stalin shouldn't have led the army in Finland.
No, not particularly.
Stalin said you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to take over Finland, so you only get 2 weeks of force and supplies. So the Finnish had more ammunition than the Russians did.
I mean, the Finnish were definitely well prepared for the invasion because they knew it was gonna happen. So they were getting fucking.
They knew it
stoked.
when when the Russian Empire fell. They knew they were gonna get invaded immediately.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen until this late. It's still insane. Well, remember what? Well, it's not like other countries had something like this, like small countries defending against a large one. But it's nothing like that, because all the small countries in Europe are like, within a few weeks, were like, goodbye.
I mean, we never stood a fucking chance.
Well, we killed a lot of Germans at an airfield somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
The
Sure,
funny
we
thing
have
was,
a victory somewhere,
well,
but
well, the funny thing was, we had Swedish, well,
For the recruits.
we call it Swedish L60 armored cars. But those armored cars were designed by Germans that worked at that place, so technically we were using German weapons on Germans.
I mean,
Isn't that interesting?
I mean that's the best way to do things, right? Give the enemy.
Well,
They make
when you
themselves.
try to light an entire airplane on an airfield, you know you're gonna get fucking destroyed.
yeah, kind of.
And then they tried to invade the Hague, and then they got destroyed because they didn't have any supplies. Because I don't know who said it, was like, oh, we can take the Hague with only paratroopers. Yeah, that went well.
Yeah, no, that's one way to fuck yourself over.
That's the best way to fuck yourself over.
I mean, German basically, they had a massive ego problem. They don't. They should have been more humble because I think they lost the entire fucking war in the end because they thought they were gonna take Russia overnight.
That is
Yeah,
the
sorry, you're
smell
good, but you're not that good.
the Banau
And that,
government's fear
well, more
of
decisions
blood
like that
quivering
basically fuck themselves over.
anticipation. My
Yeah,
sources
they had
tell
a
me
kind.
they are
Yeah, they had.
experimenting on some
But the funny
chemical
thing
gas
was, because
they
people
will
still
use
think
to
that
subdue
Hitler only liked Germans, but
our
Dutch
enemy
people
cannot
and
be allowed such an advantage.
Dutch people
You
were
must go
basically
there,
also
comrade,
really liked.
and
Like
retrieve
the first,
the three
he
vital
thought
elements
we
on
were
which
the
chemical
same.
is designed.
And we
Believe me, we were not the same as Germans. Believe me.
Really cold.
Yeah, but we have like
Otherwise they will
a similar
evaporate
heritage
nothing,
than the Germans, as the
and
Germans have.
nothing
You know,
will come of
born
Yeah,
in the
that-
same region or Germanic region.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
that
not.
is true.
We definitely weren't the same at the time. A lot of time has passed, but and we definitely aren't the same now.
We're even more divided
Yeah, but there was a time where you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
because Dutch people were around that time still the longest people on Earth, so that's why probably Hitler liked them as well.
We
Because they
kind
were
of
so
still
tall.
are. Some of them are really. We still have giants walking among us. That's for sure.
Well, we are still the tallest race on Earth. Like the what's it called? Not the minimal length. No, that's not what I mean. The average length is still taller.
Mm-hmm.
But like men are like 186 now, or 189. I don't remember. And
Yeah.
the second country that has the biggest men is Montenegro. Isn't that interesting?
I mean, I wouldn't really know because I consider myself to be a dwarf in comparison to these giants, but
I don't really
average
feel small.
1.7-ish. Is an average size, I suppose.
By the way,
1.7.
Duncan, did you know that Daryl at first, when he met me, was scared of me?
I mean, I was
Yes.
scared of you.
Hi!
See, it's normal.
I see a guy your size looking at me like that, like, oh my good god, what the fuck is that? It's like it's gonna eat me.
Wow!
I see you looking at me, licking your lips and shit, like, oh my god, no.
I
Please
was
stay
not
away.
doing that!
It's like, come here, boy.
Dancing like a monkey, but sure. It came pretty close.
Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
Oh,
Well, that's
God.
something, that's for sure.
I mean, yeah, I definitely don't blame him for being a little bit skeptical when seeing you for the first time. I was like, are you even human? And it was like, I don't know.
That's something he would say, yes.
Am I human? No, no.
Yeah, not really. Not today, anyway.
I don't
What is
think
it?
so.
What is human?
What is human?
What is human and can I eat it?
That's also something he would say, yes.
I need food.
What the Like, there are already so many fucking videos about how the fleet carrier can change. I'm just looking it up. There's so many videos. This should be changed. And like,
I mean, people are crying over these things. It's insane. I mean, I am definitely still crying over them.
seven billion a year. Fleet carriers are absurd. Yeah, 7 billion a year. God damn.
Yeah. That's entirely impossible unless you play the game literally every day.
Yeah. it's a little bit it's a little bit on the expensive side.
Tiny bit, yeah.
What the fuck? 7 billion. Like, someone just looked at that and said there isn't anything wrong with this. Anything. And it's like, what? How don't you see anything wrong with this?
I mean, it's almost like, Frontier, really? Do you guys even play your own game? How can you be so out of touch with the community?
Buy Frontier games with cheaper. Yay. But I already got a lot of... Oh, I can buy all the Jurassic World DLCs cheaper. That's something, but that's it.
Chemicals you must get inside all 3 of these labs.
Oh well, some weird
What?
shit. I mean, it's not like I can really think of any game development studio that's really done well over the last year. I mean, CG Projekt Red's probably been the shining example for everyone. But every other studio has kind of been falling from grace. CD Projekt Red, the guys that made The Witcher, and are working on the Cyberpunk game.
Well, I don't want to sound rude, but The Witcher kind of fell down for me. I don't think it's only because I've seen The Witcher, the Netflix series, and that's really shit.
I haven't even tried watching the Netflix series. I'm like, yeah, no thanks. I'll just stick with the game because that was amazing.
It's like the meme, like manga and the anime and the fucking Netflix adaptation. It's so shit. It's also really fucking cringy.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Like, oh god. But yeah, so I mean, it's pretty stupid because the Netflix series and the game kind of tell the same stories. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't understand either.
I mean, it would have been great if they made like a continuation of the story, but why the exact same? Why would you watch the stupid Netflix series if you could, play the entire story? Better, I might add, better quality and all that.
Yeah, because there's like no combat in the series, by the way. There's like no combat at all. Like the combat is also really shitty edited, so.
Yeah. Anyway, not really a fan of that stupid series, but the game's still pretty good. And I've
only played Witcher 2. I didn't play Witcher 3.
I've played 1
I've had
and
mixed
3.
feelings about it.
I've only
1
played
I
1 and
definitely
3.
didn't like. 2 I had mixed feelings about, but 3 kind of completely overwhelmed me with the capabilities. It's like, oh my god, is this universe so cool? Yeah, it is. Alright. Yeah.
Can they make good games? Oof.
Yeah, no, definitely. People were saying Witcher 3 oh my god, best game of the year. Yeah, then I think in the end I do agree with them. But the problem is that they were saying it for every year since its release. It's still the best game. And the problem is, I usually still agree with them because there's been just no really good, amazing games lately. What the fuck is all that about? It's just I really can't think of any game that's really wowed me for a while. There have been decent games, sure, but nothing groundbreaking anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, the last game I was really looking forward to was fucking the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that kind of it was a good game, but not what I expected I'd have. And on the other hand, I just it's like every single hype I've ever had for any game has been deadened. It's like I'm now scared of hyping for games because I know how bad they can end up. I think the last game I was really hyped for was fucking Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and good Christ, that blew up in my face. That's single-handedly probably the worst game I think Ubisoft's ever released. Ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely not. It's not been a good time for gaming. But so people saying that Witcher 3 is still best game of the year. Yeah, I probably fucking agree with them. But the good thing is that they're coming up with a new game, luckily. The Cyberpunk game is looking really fucking good. And because this studio has not been in any sort of significant drama or controversy, or not been in doing shady shit, the games are, they don't have microtransactions in them, and the DLC is actually quality shit. That's what you expect from a DLC. What they always were supposed to be. You pay $20 and you get a couple of hours of amazing content for it.
Then one Deadpool fan stopped buying Assassin's Creed games once they made it into a fucking RPG game.
Yeah, I definitely.
It is basically an RPG game, yeah.
I mean, this kind of, this trend started with Origins, where they made it more of an RPG. But Origins, I could get behind. If they kept that up, I was fine with it. I really did. I really genuinely loved Origins. There were parts of that, the more RPG related stuff that I kind of had mixed feelings about. Yeah. But there were some amazing qualities in that game. The problem is that with Odyssey, they doubled down on everything that burnt the amazing qualities of Origins. They doubled down on most of the stuff that I really didn't like.
Time to get out of here.
I still like Odyssey overall. I'd still recommend, to play it at least once. But it's not. I mean, I wouldn't even name it an Assassin's Creed game. The story has absolutely fuck all to do with the assassins. There aren't any assassins in the game. There aren't any Templars in the game. It has absolutely fuck all anything to do with it. So why bother making it an Assassin's Creed game? Why? One good thing though, and this is maybe a game that I'm keeping a slight attention on, is the next Assassin's Creed game. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. There have been a couple of leaks. Most of them revolve around the more Nordic/Viking-esque time period, which I can get behind. It's not something I've really seen a lot of in games, so sure. But it's all still leaks and whatever. But we do know that there is a new Assassin's Creed game coming. But the most amazing part is that it's being made by the same guys that made Black Flag. Now suddenly I start paying attention.
Oh god.
Because that studio has consistently made the best Assassin's Creed games. They made Black Flag, which wowed me at the time. They made Origins, which wowed me at the time. Because every single time, and this is a pattern that's been happening for a while now. There's multiple teams working on different Assassin's Creed games. So Black Flag came. That's one team. They innovated. They make new shit. They come up with cool new ideas, and then the other team takes that and pushes it forward. So you'll see that when the one studio made Unity, the second one took that, made Syndicate. One team made Origins, the second one took that, made Odyssey. You see a lot of similarities between those games, and where there should have been amazing innovations,
just
there
like
weren't.
3 and Black Flag, like 3 had like the ship thing already partly in there, and then 4 had like it as a main feature.
Then the Black Flag team came around and was like, okay, how can we improve on this? Whereas the other team is like, okay, how can we take this and reskin it, basically. So now that the Black Flag team is getting involved again, because they haven't been involved for a while, they had a small part to play in Origins, and that's where most of the innovations came from. But now they're getting involved in the game again. So I'm hearing a lot of good stuff about this team, and I've seen a lot of good stuff from this team, because their head honcho, I forget his name, Ashraf Ismail, whatever. This guy really knows Assassin's Creed. He's been involved with Assassin's Creed since its creation. He really loves Assassin's Creed. So we can definitely expect a more AC Assassin's Creed story to come back, because that was for me my biggest gripe on the fucking game. I couldn't be an assassin in an Assassin's Creed game. The fuck?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be some stupid ass fucking mercenary. By the way, the voice acting in that game annoyed the fuck out of me. Now I know that you've got a choice between.
I know what you're talking about.
The voice actor, and especially the male character Alexios, he sounds like a fucking monkey. The female's pretty good, by the way. She's definitely the better of the two options, which is annoying because I'd rather play as a male character. But sure, sure. I mean, the whole point is, they were like, yeah, we want you to experience someone's story so we can detail it better. Blah 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 blah. One, the story in Odyssey is kind of shit. It's not the greatest story I've ever seen. 2, the voice acting is kind of terrible. 2, the facial expressions make fucking make Andromeda look good. The fuck is that about?
Is that possible?
Apparently, every single fucking character you ever talk to looks the fucking same. So I don't really get the point. You know, the one thing I've always been wanting about Assassin's Creed games is either, you know, just give us character customization, for the love of fucking Christ, give us that. You can still keep the voice and the facial expressions just like they do in like fucking BioWare games. It's not like you'll be missing anything. You kind of already allow us to change anything anyway, and now that we can suddenly change the race or the gender of our character. So what's keeping us? Come on, guys, seriously. Thank you.
You've kind of lost me.
You kind of, I mean, they're kind of going hardcore RPG, so why not?
I
Anyway,
have no doubt you will.
What game is this?
Assassin's Creed still.
What the fuck?
But anyway, so the thing is that, you know, Odyssey, pretty decent game, pretty shit Assassin's Creed game.
Come on, almost.
But
Fuck!
luckily, hopefully the next title is going to be another step in the right direction. Because I do believe that, you know, Ubisoft's in the business of making money, and I don't think that, you know, the way they're doing it right now is going to keep giving them all the money that they want.
No.
Because basically cheapening out on everything that you do is one way to lose your customers, and guess what customers do? They give you money. If you piss off your customers long enough, EA, then you're not going to get any money.
just a very subtle.
I mean, they are the living, breathing example of this, because, you know, they were the ones that that blatantly said, no, if you don't like our games, don't buy them. Oh, what happened? No one bought their fucking game, and their stocks plummeted.
Yeah,
They got everything back, which annoys the fuck out of me. But you know,
no, but the best thing was they said that when Battlefield 5 came out, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
And it's like, yeah, if you don't like a game, don't buy it, and just. And they were surprised that nobody bought it. It's like, you said if you don't like it, don't buy it. Don't be surprised that nobody buys it then. Like.
I mean, that was my favorite moment, I think, on the internet's history, because EA was just making such a big fool of themselves. They were like, if you don't like our game, don't buy it. And then they were all Pikachu face when no one bought it. But they kept saying just the dumbest shit imaginable, where, oh, well, if you don't like our game, it means you're of a lower education. You're a dumbass because, well, definitely, World War II definitely had women with biotic arms running around.
Women,
sure.
maybe, but.
Biotic arms, men with katanas,
Well,
on the same battlefield.
That did happen.
Yeah, but I don't think they were running around in Europe.
No. Yeah, okay, I could understand. Like,
And
people were
thanks that
angry
basically-
because you could use the German assault rifle as the allies.
I mean,
Like-
I don't care about that. It's fine.
Like if the allies have German weapons, yes, they capture them, and it's also the other way around. So you know that happens, but sometimes they go overboard.
The thing is that when I was playing Call of Duty back in my early days, you know, the first couple of Call of Duties, I was definitely running around with German fucking ammo weapons all the time, because my weapons ran out of fucking ammo after every 5 minutes. Be playing a level with my fucking what was it, like the M1 Garand, and after a couple of shots, you know, you hear that amazing ping, and you're out. Oh great! Now you pick up the nearest German rifle laying on the ground, because, you know, every single dead body you come across gives you more ammo. And I never once had my immersion broken or anything like that. I was still enjoying the fucking game, believing I was a soldier in World War II. But you can still go heavily overboard with it, and that's exactly what happened with Battlefield 5. They just stopped caring at all about historical accuracy. And then when you make a shooter in a big ass historical moment, and you throw away everything that made it, you know, historical, why bother making it a World War II shooter to begin with? Why not just do something else entirely? If they made some weird future sci-fi shooter with, you know, with women walking around with facial painting and every single weapon you come across, or biotic arms or whatever, I wouldn't bat an eye. Fuck, I thought that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's just the setting it's just wrong.
Yeah, but if you're gonna go for a certain setting, you're kind of expected,
Like,
you know,
you're
to
like-
keep to the rules of that setting. Why?
They chose that,
bother?
like Daryl, from what we learned, they fucking chose the World War II seed at that point.
Yeah.
Keep to your fucking seat, otherwise that happens. you
I mean, the
twats.
problem is that they did this before with Battlefield 1, the one that's in World War 1. And it was pretty fucking good.
It
It's still
was
like-
really good.
It's still, you know, it embellished on a couple of things. It, you know, didn't really follow the rules entirely, but that's fine. When I was playing the fucking multiplayer or the single player, I was completely enthralled in the experience. It taught me a whole bunch of cool stuff about World War One that I never knew.
And that was?
Battlefield. I mean, I never know a lot about World War One to begin with, about all the different battles that took place, the weapons that were used, or the people that were there. You tend not to really hear about World War One an awful lot. So when I finally got a video game that,
because we weren't in there, that's why.
yeah,
Because I took my own interest, and that's why I went apeshit on World War One.
yeah.
Because we don't know anything about it, and then we are surprised that we don't know what a tank is.
Well, usually the tank stuff I do tend to know the technology looking stuff, because I do like myself some tanks, and I looked up the history of where they first started getting involved. So you look at the British Mark 1s, the 4s and shit. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the one thing I have to give the British, they made a tank.
I mean, they didn't
they
make
made
the tank.
they didn't make. Well, they basically made a land ship. They basically made a battleship on land. Nothing more.
Yeah, but to be fair, it did get the job done at the time, so sure. But then the Germans took that idea and they were like, the Germans took that idea and they were like, yeah,
let's make it faster.
Let's make it harder, faster.
Let's make it faster.
Faster, stronger.
Well, stronger is still debatable.
It's just like I just made a reference to a song.
I mean, if the Germans definitely innovated a lot of the tanking stuff, but different design philosophy across the board. If you get a country that really knew their tanks by the end, it was definitely fucking Russia. They knew how to make a good tank. They didn't know how to make the perfect tank, but no, they didn't need the perfect tank.
They needed a tank that does something.
Yeah, and the Germans, they doubled down on their amazing designs by shooting themselves in the foot. If you take the Tiger 1, at its peak, that thing was fucking... You would not want to come across a Tiger 1. Near the end of the war, you wouldn't bat an eye if you came across one, and if you came across a Tiger 2, you wouldn't bat an eye either, because that thing was more likely to break down itself than from you shooting it.
They will probably run out of fuel, so... Before you even got close, I think it doesn't have any fuel.
Yeah. And
Well,
I'd say the Americans with their Shermans, they definitely, they had the middle ground. They were built a little bit more sturdier than the Russian T-30